Hello and welcome to another riveting episode of the Active Life Podcast. I'm Larry Geyer, and I'm in studio with Mr. Cody Ringle.
Hello, Larry.
Ready for the best conversation ever?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, today we want to make sure that we can help people understand the importance and then even a very tactical set of steps to seeking and approaching your ideal client. And we're not getting into some crazy ideal client avatar that you see in 1,000,001 marketing companies and techniques. We're just talking about the principles of why you need to do it, because it's overlooked, it's underappreciated, and frankly, I actually even think that it's undersupported from a values and beliefs perspective. I think that tactics are forced down people's throats, whether or not they understand what they're doing and why, and they often don't feel good about it. I want to make sure that you can feel good about doing it, and the way that's going to happen is by you understanding the importance of it and what's at stake if you don't. So, first and foremost, I have been the trainer that could not imagine saying no to someone that wanted to work with me.
Same.
You've been the gym owner that thought body's in the door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're in a position where you already feel like you don't make the money that you want to make, and you're already working a lot, the idea of you saying no to a client that is either already a client that you wish you didn't have to work with, you know what that feels like. You know who you are. Or the client that is ready for personal training, whether it's with you or someone else, they're in front of you. Why would you turn it away? I've been there. It doesn't feel good to say no to that in the moment. But there's a part of you that's like, I would love to not have to say yes.
Right.
I would love for you to help me elucidate the benefits of being selective about your clients for you and the clients, and the costs of you taking on anyone to you and the client.
Well, thinking along that line, why would we want to work with the person that we're most inspired to work with most of the time? Why would that even matter?
You get more out of it.
What do you mean? Who gets more out of it?
Well, I don't know about the person I want to work with, but if I'm working with the person that I'm most inspired to work with, I'm certainly getting more out of it. I'm paying better attention. I'm showing up with better energy. I'm bringing my A game, and I'm listening. I'm attentive, and I'm downloading what I'm learning from this person with an eagerness and a readiness to take meaningful action on their words.
I would say then that they are also getting a better service.
Getting or giving?
They are getting. The client is getting a better service. If you're inspired and you're interested and you're showing up
I was
and
just
being
speaking
attentive.
as the client. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
Got
speaking
it.
as
Yeah,
the client, consuming from the person I would be most inspired to work with. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
The client's getting a better service.
Yes. And you as a professional, we've all known what it felt like to get to the end of the hour with the client that you're not inspired to work with and be like, oh God, how many sessions do I have left today?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay, so we have four things to explain here. We have benefit to the coach and benefit to the client of choosing the right client. We have cost to the coach and cost to the client of choosing the wrong client.
Yep.
Let's go through these one at a time, because you need to understand all four if you're going to make a sound basis of your decision going forward. Coach chooses the right client. What's the benefit to the coach?
They're showing up, better energy. They're offering a better service. It increases their reputation in the marketplace. They're having a better time. They're more fulfilled by the work that they're doing. Yeah. You don't need more than that.
You gain energy, you gain satisfaction, you gain fulfillment, you have more fun, you got better stories to tell.
Yes.
If you like who you are helping.
Yep. And that's just the short term. Long term, there's more opportunity, better potential for referrals. There's more money. There's more personal fulfillment.
How is there more money and more potential for referrals if you like who you're working with?
Because you know when you show up with the person that you're the most energized by and the experience that they are having that leads them to become the maven, and not just another person that you work with that leaves and was like, yeah, it was pretty good.
I see. So when you're showing up for the right person, you show up in such a way that they are going to become someone that is more helpful to you down the road.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's the benefits for the coach.
Benefits for the client of you being selfish about choosing the right client for you. What is the benefit to the client?
You described that earlier. It's all of it's the better service.
The client's going to show up like that.
They're going to show up. They're going to have a better experience. They're going to get a better service. They're going to get to their outcomes faster, easier with less friction. That's the benefit to them. They achieve their goals.
They'll probably enjoy it more.
And they're going to, they're going to enjoy the journey.
I see. Okay. Anything else that stands out to you there?
No.
Okay. If the coach chooses the wrong clients, takes on the wrong clients, what is the cost to the coach of choosing the wrong client for them?
Lack of fulfillment, anger. You get through the day, you get to the end of the day of working with 2, 3, 4, 5 clients, and you get to the end of the day and you're like, what am I even doing here? Can I imagine myself doing this for another 5 years?
So another 5 months? Getting through.
Yes.
You're looking at the clock. Your energy is drained. You're gritting your teeth. I see.
Yep.
So it just sucks.
Does it need to be more than that?
No. That's good enough for me. Okay. Cost. This one I think is elusive. And for those coaches out there who are like, well, my service to my client is utmost, great, as it should be. What is the cost to the client if you take on someone that you selfishly don't want to take on?
Well, you still work with clients now. Why don't you? Why don't you take on somebody that you're not inspired to work with? What's the cost to them that you're thinking about that leads you to say, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea for us to work together.
I know that if I'm working with someone that I don't want to be helping, that I won't enjoy it. I will get less fulfillment from it. I'm going to be unconsciously less inspiring to them because my body language, my tone, I'm sure literally even the way that I smell, like my physiology, there are things that you just can't hide from people. People are really, really attuned to how you feel and how you're doing and what's going on, where your attention is, where you want to be. And I think that what's going to happen is unconsciously or otherwise, even if I'm only 1% less awesome, if I'm 1% less going out of my way, if I'm 1% less proactive, that person gets less than someone who is cartwheeling out of bed to do what they want to be doing. And that's not fair to the client. No. Because if I know someone who will be even 1% better or more inspired than me at helping this person, I'd rather the client have them.
100%.
Hey, it's Dr. Sean here reminding you that if you are a coach who wants to fill the gap neglected by fitness and healthcare, and you want to make a career doing it, we might be able to help you. Head to the show notes. There's a link there. You're going to click that link to download the ALP curriculum. That's the stuff that we teach to coaches over the course of 13 months to turn them into world-class professionals who never have to worry about missing a paycheck again, doing work they love to do. Go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's get you back to the show.
So that's the negative for the client.
Correct.
That's the cost for the client.
They get less than they deserve. They get less than they're paying for. Period. This, I believe, begs a question about a concern that I think a lot of coaches have had. I certainly have. But Larry, I can't afford to turn away the business. I can't afford to fire someone. I don't want to lose the client that I have now, even if I think that I would be better off mentally not working with them. And the idea of saying no to someone that comes to me ready to buy seems crazy. How do I justify this?
Play the long game. Maybe this doesn't happen today for you. Maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow, and that's okay. I think often when we're in this space, we are surrounded by people who want to take action.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm just going to change the structure of my business.
Right. Right.
If you have the financial ability to do that, and go for it.
Yeah. If you can burn a bunch, do it.
If not, start thinking in months and years rather than days and weeks. So what needs to be true 18 months from now for you to be working with this type of client?
The visual that pops into my head when people think about taking on the client now for cash in hand now that they don't want to say no to. I visualize a $100 bill 10 feet in front of them with a slight breeze, maybe 5 miles, 10 miles an hour, enough to be blowing the bill away from them. They could catch it. You can move more than 5 or 10 miles per hour. But in between them and the bill are a line of pennies on the floor. And so instead of foregoing the pennies to get the $100 bill, you're letting the bill blow farther and farther away from you because you're stopping to pick up each of the pennies.
That is a great visual.
That's how I think about this.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah, you're not going to make the next 18 cents that comes your way so that you can catch the $100 bill that you want. That's actually probably going to be a much higher amount of money recurring for a long time if you got the right fit.
Yeah. Often, look, I had a business. I had 2 businesses when we were doing this. And when we decided that we were no longer inspired and interested to work with the type of person who wanted to do CrossFit as their primary modality they wanted to do competitions and all of the things. I attempted to treat it like we were trying to turn a battleship. 1 degree. That's it. You go 1 degree a day. Rather than like, okay, we're going this way, and then tomorrow we're going to go this way. When I was younger, I did that in my business when I was younger, and the fallout from that was problematic. If you have the capacity to do it, as in you have the financial resources and the stockpile to do that and be like, okay, tomorrow we no longer do this and we now do this, go for it.
Yeah.
Just know that it's going to take you time to build up your market recognition, the perception in the marketplace. It's going to take you time to find that person. So rather than burning it all down today, start saying, okay, what needs to be true 18 months from now for me to be the business and have the business and work with the type of clients that I want? What's the first thing that I need to start doing? That will then start to give you insight into a step to take, right? It could be as easy as adding a discovery call. Just add a discovery call, add something, right? Change something, one thing, not 17 things.
Something like one thing that gives you a better chance of having a better client.
Yes.
Understood.
Yeah. So the last thing that I want to flesh out with you is we want to make this tactical. Something that somebody can listen to this, take away, and do something with it. Today. What is an exercise that someone could go through in order to help them start to identify the good client, the person to say no to?
One of the most helpful things, one of the most helpful exercises that I've ever run through, and a number of our students have gone through it also, is an audit of what makes a client great for you or what makes a client intolerable for you. And these are the criteria, the selection criteria, if as it were, for you to start being more selfish. So we've already talked about healthy selfishness. If you want to own a business and you want to feel good about the work you're doing for people and you want to take care of yourself, the people you love, you need to be healthily selfish, period. So the way we start doing this is step 1, you are going to you're going to set a running timer for 4 minutes. Hit start. Take a sheet of loose leaf. You are going, by the way, I recommend loose leaf and a pen over an iPhone or a laptop. We learn better and we retain information better if we're writing with an implement. If you got like a remarkable, that's fine, but you got to be writing something. You're going to spend 4 minutes listing all of the attributes of clients you would love to have. I want you to think about attributes that every time you hear this client is like this or has this or does this or is this, you are energized by it. You are attracted to it. You think, I want that. Examples of this might include committed, respectful, consistent, motivated, curious. Other examples might include the kinds of things that you want to help clients with. So, for example, struggling with knee pain after 3 years of being in and out of the rehabilitative system. Wants to play sport, held back by whatever it is. Like the things that you are really jazzed about helping people with. Now, whether for you that's helped someone lose 5 pounds, or for you it's helped someone reclaim joint function that they haven't had in a decade, you got to list the things that would make you absolutely stoked. Everyone who's got a clientele who's been in this for at least a year or two, you have the 1 or 2 clients that immediately come to mind when I say, who are some of the best clients you've ever had? I know you got 1 or 2 of them that are in your head right now. you might have forgotten when I ask you who are the ones that you would never want to have. You might have forgotten them. Mm-hmm. If you have, good for you. If you can think of some that have been the worst drains ever, it's the opposite, right? So when we think about the attributes that we want to have, we want people that end up totaling more memories that are on your deathbed of the people that you loved working with. I have them. I'm going to think about a couple of my clients on my deathbed. I will. I know that. After you've exhausted that list, if you're at 4 minutes and you're just like ripping through this list, you're at item 45 and the timer's done and you feel like you have another 20 in you, don't stop writing. Keep writing them out.
Right.
You can distill them if you need to after. You might get something really good that was worth continuing to write. After you've done that, you're going to set another 4-minute timer for a list of attributes that you absolutely want to avoid and reject in any potential client. So, easy examples of this could be disrespectful around time, big complainers, inconsistent, relatively unmotivated, flighty. Other examples might include the kinds of work that you're generally uninterested in providing. So for me, if someone has no other goal other than a general weight loss goal, utterly uninterested in starting a working relationship around that. If someone has a bodybuilding goal, utterly uninterested for me. There are a lot of people who are very interested in helping those. And if those are yours, you should be writing those down on your positive lists. For you, it's important that you start to identify what are all the things that will allow me to identify when the person comes along, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. This is the yellow flag. It makes the selection criteria obvious, and it makes it obvious whether or not you should work for someone. You don't have to figure anything out in the moment because you've already got your criteria for yes and for no.
Yep.
So if you see a no come along, you just tell yourself, remember, we talked about this. I know it's hot and it smells good, but we're not going to do it because.
Mm-hmm. That's going to build your reputation as well, by the way, because what you're going to do if you do this really, really well is you're going to find the person to refer that person to who is inspired to help them solve the problem in the way that they want it solved or achieve the goal that they have in the way they want to achieve it.
Yes. You can do this on the back of your hand right now, wherever you are, because you know yourself. You are yourself. The middle term second assignment that might take a week, depending on your network, might take months to a year, is to start to do exactly what you just outlined, Cody, which is who are the people for whom I can recommend a professional? So, or rather, who are the professionals that I can recommend for the clients that come along?
Yep.
So in other words, I know I'm not interested in weight loss and bodybuilding. Who I know is just a killer general physical preparedness and nutrition coach in combination who can help someone lose 20 pounds with a really high degree of certainty in their system. I want to know that person so I can send them there. Who is the sports performance coach? Who is the bodybuilding person? Who is the person that wants to just coach basketball? I want to know these so that when someone's coming along and I see this is for that person, I can just make the connection.
Mm-hmm. That's a helpful exercise. Those are 2 helpful exercises for us to take from this.
Anything you want to add to this?
No, this was, I imagine this was a great episode. Remember, if you found value here, like, subscribe, share for all of the beautiful reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, you'll save a bunch of animals and it'll be good.
Easily.
See ya.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Active Life podcast. If you did, please head to wherever you listen and leave us that 5-star rating. It really does go a long way. 5 stars goes a long way. Please leave them. If you're interested in working with us as a coach, remember, we help coaches from around the world build fulfilling careers, working with clients they're inspired to help so they never have to worry about being able to pay your bills again. No one's ever going to ask you if you are going to get a real job when you work with Active Life. All you have to do, head into the show notes, click the link that you find there, download our curriculum. That will give you a feel for what it is going to take for you to be successful. A team member of ours will reach out to you to find out if it's a fit for us to work together. Till the next show, turn pro.